Good morning, everyone. Jim Clark here at the Synchronicity Sanctuary in Central Virginia to share another contemplative focus with you today. And the focus I want to entertain with you today is belief is investing in illusion. The opposite of belief is non belief, it's subjective, formless consciousness. It is disidentification because it is the absence of content. To believe and not believing is to reverse polarized dominance from illusion to truth, from form to formlessness. The balance created results in holistic wakefulness. So, the ultimate belief is really to believe in not believing, to get away from believing. This is why we have what we call the Socratic process, so you can examine thoroughly any belief that you were holding on to. And if you really gave yourself to that process, you would discover that you really didn't know what you thought you know. And in addition to this, the experience of yourself as sourceful consciousness can never be known. It's not something you can believe in because it's beyond the mind. It cannot be known, it cannot be described. You can never know yourself as consciousness. You can only experience yourself as consciousness. And when you experience yourself as consciousness, knowing has no place there. You don't even care about knowing. You're too busy being the consciousness that you are. And the more you develop that dominant positive polarity in your state of being, and you experience that reverberation that is the experience of being consciousness, you know that that's there, and you know that that is you, but it's not something you can know intellectually. It's beyond concept. You can never grasp it with concept. You can point to it. You can try to point to it. This is what all mystical teachers do. They do their best to try to get your interest in and uh, encourage you to go through the process of meditation and holistic lifestyle to adopt to a rigorous routine of meditation every day until you develop constancy in your positive polarity dominance. Huh? Here and there, I know in my many years of meditating, I would have breakthrough experiences both before I came here and afterwards, where suddenly the experience of being in consciousness would open up and I would have that experience. I could never know what that was going to be. I could never describe what that was or is, but it's not a knowing, it's a being. It's an experience. Huh? So within this theater of being human on planet Earth and then discovering that all of creation, virtually all of creation, is created by consciousness and that you are that same consciousness. So the confusion arises here. You are existing as a human being by virtue of the fact that you are able to contract your awareness into a form called human and witness the creation at the same time that you're still being consciousness. You can't change that. So you're always the source consciousness that you've always been, but not as an individual. Your individuated consciousness as a human being is an expression of consciousness within the creation game. It's a game pretending where consciousness is intentionally being what it is not. The content of consciousness is the theater of the play. It is not the consciousness itself as it is in its pure, formless being. So you can't know, you can't describe, and you can't contain consciousness, the truth of who you are in concept. There's just no way to do that. So it's just very simple. It's beyond concept. It is a vibration. It's a state of vibratory existence that has always been and will always be, because that's all there ever was, and it's not subject to anything that can be contained in a concept. So the truth of who you are simply is what it is, and the expression of yourself as human within the creation game is as it is, and it is all appropriate. There is nothing wrong with anybody here on earth. We're all going through the experiences that we came here to experience. Even though we may think, and we may even have the experience within time, that things are random and not in control, the truth is they are always in control. They generate the experiences and the context for experiences that we need to evolve ourselves from involution, where we are totally unaware of the truth of who we are, to evolution. And then through evolution, we grow our awareness gradually, lifetime after lifetime, until we can have the experience of who we truly are, even if it's just for a moment. And then from there, we just keep building until it is a constant experience. And once you get that constant experience going, there's nothing else you ever want, because it is so much more pleasurable and so much more loving than anything else you've ever known as human, that to go back to something less than that would be unthinkable. You just wouldn't go there. And indeed, that is how we evolve and how we complete the cycle in the creation game, from involution to evolution, from illusion to truth. When we embrace the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, then we are done with our role in the creation game. But when that's going to happen, who knows? There's so many lifetimes it took us to get to where we are today. If you're watching this video, you also have journeyed a long, long time before something like this would have even attracted you. So if you're watching this, you're in the game, you're in the evolution game, you're moving yourself towards more and greater awareness, more expansion, more blissful being. And as you move into this experience more and more, you don't have to be told anything, you don't have to believe in anything. All you have to do is live the lifestyle that generates balance, which is the holistic lifestyle, where you meditate every day, you maintain balance in your physical, mental, and emotional dimensions, you integrate and you process what you have to process. Old beliefs that surface that no longer serve you has to be released, and so that you have nothing cluttering the truth of who you are from the form that you're seeing yourself in. And then journey is easy after that, but that's a long process. It's a difficult process, and sometimes it's a very challenging process to confront beliefs that you're still hanging on to, even though you weren't aware of it until you generated enough truthful experience that the contrast between the truth and that belief became too apparent in some form or another for you to hang on to. It was too unpleasant. It was too non-loving. It was too restricted. It was just too much. So you don't want to hang on to those things anymore. When you find yourself entertaining fear, you replace it with love, because you entrain yourself to replace anything that isn't loving and inclusive to be inclusive and loving. You replace that simply by putting a strict focus on that. You don't allow yourself to to spend a day generating negativity, because you know that the more you do that, the more you're shooting yourself in the foot. Why would you want to do that when you're experiencing a blissful being? If there's anything in life that's worth doing, it is living a holistic lifestyle and meditation, doing meditation on a daily basis, if you're ready for it. When your feet are there, when you have journeyed the journey to the point where that is an appropriate experience for you, that's what you'll do. It will come into your life and you'll find yourself meditating. I know that early in my life, that was the last thing in the world that I ever thought of. Meditation wasn't even spoken of. I had no idea what the heck it was. And and as I went through life, when I was ready, I had my awakening experience, and I experienced myself as the truth of who I am. And that was such a powerful experience that changed the entire direction of my life. It opened me up to meditation, and it opened me up to the journey, even though there was still resistance to some parts of that journey in the beginning. I gradually gave those up because I knew, something inside me just knew I had to say yes. When I was confronted with the opportunity to live with a authentic master, which is something that I really didn't want to do in the beginning of my journey. I was still too egotistical within it. I yielded and I came, and I'm still here. So that was a huge step for me to take. It's a big step for anybody to take. You think you're giving up your freedom, but in reality, you're giving up your bondage to the beliefs that you're still hanging on to as an ego. And so that's basically it. Belief is investing in illusion. And as we are witnessing today, the world is so rich with different beliefs and suffering itself because of those beliefs. The content of consciousness is so fragmented that if you're invested in that, you're going to be in conflict, countless conflicts with yourself, with people in your world, people that you don't even know, and so forth and so on. And it just keeps building and building and building until people are ready to give it up, which is their journey. Our journey is to maintain a state of being that contributes to the positive polarity of the planet, and also to help in the processing of the collective consciousness to the degree that we can. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and hope you'll be back next week for another contemplative focus that I can share with you. Belief is investing in illusion, so believe in not believing. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again here next week, next Monday.